how to consume content so that it actually helps you. When it comes to navigating the millions of videos online, the millions of people you can follow on Instagram, all these podcasts and all this information, the best way to consume content is to consume content just in time and not just in case. And that phrase, just in time, not just in case, is going to be the central theme of this video, and I have a lot to say. And I think what you're going to learn today is going to be something that's really going to have you pausing and thinking before you load up that next video, before you do that next binging session, before you listen to that next podcast. Because a lot of us are guilty, me included, and this is how I know about this because I'm literally guilty of it, guilty of consuming content just in case. We consume a lot of content that isn't really relevant to our current situation right now, isn't really helpful for what we need right now, but our brain subconsciously thinks, you know what, this particular video, it's gonna come in handy in the future. Like, I might as well watch it now, I might as well binge, I might as well stay up later to watch all these videos on business because, you know, in the future, when I come to make my business, these videos will be handy. I'll be glad I watched them, right? It's a good intention, but no. I'd argue that we're much better off only consuming content just in time or not consuming content at all. Now, what does just in time mean? Consuming content just in time means that you watch, or let me just say consume instead of watch, because content comes in all different forms nowadays, not just YouTube videos. You get what I'm saying. You consume content that's relevant to your current situation, to your current problems that you're facing, and that's going to provide a solution in the immediate, in the right now. So let me give an example. Let's say you're currently going through a phase of binge eating. Let's say you've fallen off your diet and you just can't stop binge eating. You're much better off watching YouTube videos and podcasts and reading articles about how to stop binge eating, about why it happens, about other people's experiences with it. It wouldn't make sense for you to bum out on YouTube till 1 a.m. watching videos on how to build your business. You have no intentions of making a business. You have no intentions of starting a business in the near future. That wouldn't be the best use of your time. That would be consuming content just in case, because, you know, just in case one day in the future you start a business, it'd be nice to watch these videos now. But no, your current problem is you keep binge eating. You keep eating like a fucking pig. In other words, that's me right now. I'm kind of in a bit of a binge eating crisis. Anyways, we'll talk about that now. Anyways, I'm much better off watching videos on how to fix my current problems. Let me give some other random examples, right? These are completely random off the top of my head. Let's take the 16-year-old who reads Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Not the best use of his time. That's consuming content just in case and not just in time. At 16 years old, he's got no business, if you pardon the pun, starting a business or learning about cash flow quadrant. That type of stuff isn't relevant to him right now. And watch this now. When you consume content that isn't relevant to you right now, you're not as engaged. It doesn't really strike you. You don't really get those light bulb moments where you think like, oh my God, this is literally what I'm going through right now. Oh my God, this is literally the solution to my problem. Like, no, you just sort of passively consume this content. And I know this to be true. I've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad at 16 years old. Yes, I've done that. I've read and watched a million YouTube videos about cool topics that are interesting to know and good to know, such as, you know, dating, marketing, business, sales. Because I thought, yeah, it's nice to know these topics and, you know, I'd like to know them just in case. But because they weren't relevant to my immediate right now, they didn't really register. I kind of watched them, you know, passively with a half brain, sort of just watching these contents for entertainment and leisure purposes. And that's just not the best use of my time. When I was doing that, that is literally consuming content just in case and not just in time. Let's give another example. Let's take the 21-year-old salesman who is drowning in work. Like, he's got no free time at all. It wouldn't make sense for him to watch a bunch of dating videos and how to find a wife and all these other videos that, you know, seem productive to him, because he's not looking for that right now. That's not going to help him right now. He's busy drowning in work. He's much better off watching videos, reading books, reading Reddit posts on how to be a better salesman. Are you seeing how this works? You're much better off consuming content just in time than just in case. Or actually, the exact phrase, and this is a phrase from Tim Ferriss, is it's much better to have information just in time than just in case. That's the actual correct phrase. But hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. When it comes to choosing your next YouTube video, when it comes to choosing what book you're going to read next, when it comes to choosing whether it's worth loading on YouTube and watching a bunch of videos. Think, is this going to help me right now? Is this next video I'm going to click on information just in time? Or is it information just in case that might come in handy someday in the future? We want to limit our information to just in time. That way, the information we consume will actually be helpful and a productive use of our time. And also that way, we're not wasting time consuming information that isn't really going to help us, but what it is going to do is just eat up our time. We're much better off either not consuming content at all or only consuming the content that's relevant to us. So when it comes to choosing between information just in time or just in case, you're much better off with just in time or no content at all. I'd much rather you, excuse me bro, why the fuck am I ill? I'd much rather you not consume any content. So that means don't watch my YouTube videos or anyone's YouTube videos. Don't listen to those podcasts. Don't read those books if they're not going to be helpful to you right now. You'd much better off spend that time in solitude. You'd much better off spend that time just with your own thoughts, just living a normal human being's life. Like, how many times have you driven in your car and listened to a podcast and that podcast wasn't really relevant to you? I promise you, and this is where I have to make more videos on the importance of solitude and just spending time. It's not alone because you're not a loner, but spending time with your thoughts. You're much better off spending time with your thoughts than listening to a podcast that isn't really helpful. Remember, it is much better to have information just in time than just in case. And this is how I think you should consume content. Content that comes just in time, that's relevant and purposeful to your current situation, your current problems, your current interests. Any other content that's just in case is better off delegated, added to the watch later list, or not watched at all. So next time you click on a YouTube video, ask yourself, is this just in time or is it just in case? Let me know your thoughts down below to this video. Catch you guys in the next one. Love.